A 3-0 day yesterday. Well, kind of. I'll break it down here in a second. But overall, we made money yesterday. We swept the board. You love to see it. Let's see if we can run it back today. We got a lot of action. I've got college basketball on the way. I've got an NBA play for you guys. And then also, of course, we got to throw a little bit of baseball in there. This is the free three. Let's dive into these plays.
Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. Mike going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go in such a weak AFC South? Unless we have the NBA Blowout Association.
Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
And a happy Tuesday to you, my friends. What is up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. So you know what? I think I'm going to hit the horn. I'm going to hit the horn. And the reason why I'm going to hit the horn is because officially on the free three, we did have a sweep yesterday. We did have a 3-0 day. Now, if you went on Action Network, we technically did go 3-2. So it wasn't like a full exact sweep. If I pull up Action real quick, you can see we went officially 3-2 as we lost two early plays. I did a light play on Utah in the college basketball crown. Just wanted to get a little bit of action there. They lost by 1 point. And then also we did an early Moneyline parlay as well with the Twins and the Phillies, and I think the Twins let us down in that one. So, that was a tough early one, but look at this yesterday. 3-0 on the free three. The Mets and the Rays on the money line, no sweat bet there. We got that done at plus 133. We told you Kawhi 20 plus, Harden 18 plus. This was a sweat. It took the very last play of the game. I think Kawhi hit a very late three-pointer that put the Clippers. They were winning, but it kind of put the game to bed for them. James Harden had another good performance. But the crazy thing is Harden finished with 20, and I think Kawhi finished with 21, and Kawhi's line was 22, and Harden's line was 20 and a half. So you really would have lost if you had just taken it on its own. So sometimes, you might be on the right side of a tease parlay, and we were yesterday. So lucky for us, we got that one done at plus 108, and that was like my ladder leg of the day that I tracked on DraftKings. So I'm going to start trying to do that here. We'll see how that goes. Maybe tracking the ladder daily on DraftKings for you guys to see what we're cooking with. And then our Los Angeles parlay late. The Lakers get it done and the Dodgers get it done. We get that done plus 126. Really great value on the winners yesterday. So you guys know the vibes here on the free three. If we sweep the board, that means somebody is going to get paid. So make sure you guys comment on the video. Make sure you share, subscribe, like as well. But if somebody comments on this video, we're going to get Venmo somebody some money. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in this morning. And then also here on the YouTube as well, as we're trying to get our subscribers up, our viewers up, because we've been making money on the channel, guys. So we got to get it out to more people. So I got to work on my marketing a little bit. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about college basketball. We do have the college basketball crown and then also the NIT semifinals. We're going to talk a little bit about NBA player props and then also a little bit of baseball action. So let's start with the college basketball slate. So yesterday was the first games in the CBC, the college basketball crown. Don't really know what to make of it just right now yet. They had some players like Georgetown. They had two starters ruled out like right before the game started. Utah was a close game. Georgetown was an underdog, and they won late night against Washington State. Who else played? We saw a few other games in the middle of the day there. So I'm not really caring to bet that tournament, but we do have the NIT today, and we do have two games. We have North Texas playing UC Irvine, and then we also have Loyola Chicago playing my alma mater, Chattanooga. I will say I love my mocks. And I feel like you should take my mocks, and you should take them on the plus money at plus 125 on the money line, plus 120. I think that is a great bet, and I will lock it in here live on the channel for just half a unit live. I will be taking it for a little bit larger wager personally. But the best bet that I do have is going to be in the other NIT game, and it's going to be UC Irvine on the money line. And I like UC Irvine, guys, and we're going to take them on the money line. And there's a few reasons why I like UC Irvine. Not only are we getting them at plus value at plus 105, which is what I really love. But also, this is a team that's 28-6 this year. They had a very good year. And I know this year we had a chalky tournament in the sense of not a lot of upsets, all number one seeds inside of the Final Four. And I think if the committee is serious about saving college basketball and what's going to happen in the NIL era, obviously the money is going to win the war at all times. And they're going to get the better players. They're going to get all the transfers. We know that. But I do think they should make a rule where it's like we get an at-large, like 4 to 6 mid-majors automatically get an at-large that did not win their conference tournament. Because UC Irvine, if they made the NCAA tournament, depending on who they played, they could have beat some people. And I think that's how we might still get some upsets in there. And UC Irvine's a really good team. North Texas had a really good season as well, but they've faced some controversy in the offseason. Not controversy, but they're going to be losing their coach. I forget where he's going to be going, North Texas. But North Texas is a team that likes to play defense, right? They're very, very strong defensively. They don't want to score a whole lot of points. We know this if we look at their numbers real quickly. 42nd defensive efficiency, 25th in effective field goal percentage. And obviously you made it to the semifinals in the NIT, so this game probably means something for you. But the problem that I see is offensively. They play really slow. They're not very that efficient. They shoot the three ball pretty well, but they can't score inside too well. And I think that's going to be the advantage for UC Irvine. UC Irvine, they don't have one of the best offenses from the standpoint of efficiency, but they are very effective in terms of their sets. And they get to the free throw line. You can see number 4 here. They shoot a good volume of threes, and they play at a decent pace. And their defensive numbers are a little bit skewed just because they play in a very weak conference, but they do have some of the size that can cause problems inside. And I think that can cause a problem for North Texas, but because they like to play fast and North Texas likes to play so slow, I give advantage to UC Irvine here. Smaller school. I think that this is like kind of their like Super Bowl in a way. This is as good a guess. I mean, same thing for North Texas, but like I said, I think it's a lot around the program. Ken Palm has this as a 1-point win for UC Irvine, which I agree with. It is still pretty low scoring, 63-62, but I think UC Irvine can get it done. And you can see here, 82 points against Northern Carolina. Colorado, 81 points against UAB. They lost to UC San Diego, a very, very good team that made it to the NCAA tournament, and they still dropped, they were in that game for the majority of the game before their offense kind of took away for UC San Diego. But I think this is a pretty good UC Irvine team. And I think they can get the win today. And I think North Texas is going to have a problem keeping up with the pace of play. And it's going to come down to a half-court game at some times. But I like the value that we're getting at plus 105. So let's lock that in for our first NIT bet. For our second pick of the day, we're going to go to our Moneyline parlay of the day. Appreciate you, John. Yeah, man, trying to get hot, man. So our Moneyline parlay of the day is going to be a split par parlay or split sport parlay. So let's start off with the Major League Baseball slate real quick. I'll give you guys a few leans here that I like. Mets and Marlins. Sandy Alcantara is on the mound for the Marlins. Cody Senga is on the mound for the Mets. That should be an interesting game. D-backs and Yankees. I'm actually thinking about going to that game tonight. I think that should be a good game. Corbin Burns is on the mound. Nationals and Blue Jays. I think this should be another good one. I like the Nationals at plus 145. I think that's really good value here. I can put I don't want to do that. I'll lock it in a little bit later. But I do like the Nationals against the Blue Jays because Jose Barrios, he's not really that good. And Trevor Williams, who's going for the Nationals, he was a cash cow last year. But the best bet that I have here is going to be a Moneyline parlay. And the first one is going to be the undefeated Padres are taking on the Cleveland Guardians. And the Padres are sending their best pitcher to the mound, Michael King. And he got roughed up in his first start. He has a 10.5 ERA. If we go pull it up real quickly here, let me go to MLB, go to scores. We can go look at his numbers. I like ESPN to look at the pitcher's numbers. I don't know why, because I feel like their interface is just the easiest to kind of click between like game log and home road splits against the Braves. He went 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 4 walks. So he struggled with his control a little bit, but because the Braves suck offensively and the Padres are so deep this season, they were still able to get the win. It was a no decision for him because obviously he didn't go enough innings. But I think he's going to get an opportunity today against the Guardians because Logan Allen, who's on the mound for the Guardians, he just has not been really good. Ever since last season. Last season, he had the ERA over 6, and I know the Padres are undefeated. They're kind of like the Dodgers right now. I want to kind of keep riding with them until they lose, and I think they're really good. So the parlay of the day is going to be San Diego Padres on the money line, and then we're going to throw in the Milwaukee Bucks on the money line. And the Milwaukee Bucks are the team in the NBA that are playing the Suns tonight. Minus 230 on the money line, so not too bad of value. And this is just one of those plays for me where it's like, all right, let's look at the incentives. Let's look and see what they have to play for. One, they've lost 4 games in a row. I'm not a big fan of catching a falling knife, but, I mean, you've lost 4 games in a row, and you need to figure some things out. Let's just be honest. Playoffs are right around the corner, and we're about to pull up the standings and see how close they are because, I mean, it's very crucial. And to keep in mind for the Suns, they just lost Kevin Durant in their last game with literally like 2 minutes left to go in the game, rolled his ankle. He's going to be out for a little bit. So now a team that's already without Bradley Beal on a day-to-day basis, that's already decimated and fighting for a playoff spot in their own right, and just been dealing with all the struggles this season of controversy and news and trade rumors and everything. It's just not a big fan for me. Milwaukee Bucks, you can see right here, they're in the 6th seed, so they're right on that line of a playing spot, and they're not too far from the Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, they have about a 4-game advantage here, but they cannot take their foot off the gas because there's about 8 to 9 games left. The Pistons are not too far away, so there's still ways for you to move up in game positioning and seeding. And like I said, one of the things that I do like about this Bucks squad is when you look at them from an injury perspective, they kind of know what they have. Like Damian Lillard's out for an indefinite period right now. Bobby Portis is going to come back in about 3 or 4 more games from the suspension. So you have Kyle Kuzma, like you kind of know the rotation, you kind of know the guys. So it's just might as well. It's like, hey, Giannis, you're kind of day to day here and there dealing with different ailments. Play the big games like tonight where you need a win against another playoff caliber team in the Suns at home after dropping again 4 straight games. So for me, it's just really good value, I think, at getting these two teams that really should are playing inferior opponents that should be able to get it done. You parlay those two together, that gets you to plus 125 odds. So that's not bad at all. For that parlay, I think that's really good value on that. Let me just type in the free 3 here because I just want to start being able to at least track the plays for us that are on the show. So I like that value there, and I think that's a pretty good Moneyline parlay. So the third and final best bet of the day, guys, is going to be a player prop of the day. And I like a few different player props today, and I was searching, and I found a guy on YouTube who had a video. I don't remember his name, if I'm being honest, because I was just kind of listening to it. I was listening to the analysis, and I didn't have the phone in my room. I was just listening on speaker, and he gave a really good breakdown on this Trailblazers Hawks game. And there is a player today that I want to take a look at, and let's go to Doink Sports real quickly and take a look at. Before we do that, I want to see if Action has the injury report here. Okay, so we could see here for the Trailblazers, right? The injuries that they're dealing with is basically Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams, 2 of their bigger size guys, obviously a 3/4 and a 5. So what that's led to recently for the Trailblazers is more minutes for certain guys like Deni Avdija. And that's the person I want to take a look at today. You can see he's one of the guys on Doing Sports that we've been able to we've been looking for these, it's not prize picks, but these are like the green gobs, what I call them over here, a lot of green, and that's what I want. I like to see green on the chart. I don't want to see straight green, but I do like to see a good majority of green because that shows like a consistency, it shows a trend. And you can see today his line for points is at 22.5, and he's been averaging 25 and he's gone over in 6 of the last 10 games. I'm not opposed to that. We've got to have very high total in today's game with the Hawks at, hold on, let's go back here. I believe it's at 237. The Hawks total is, I guess we could do it on Action. Yep, it is at 237.5. So very high total there. So that means that the team totals are at about 116, 121. So you might want to go with the points there. You can see he's been shooting the 3-point ball pretty well as well. So you can go with that. But the pick that I'm going to go with today is we're going to go Deni Avdija over 8.5 rebounds. I like this. You can see he's gone over in 6 of the last 10 games. He only had 7 last game against the Knicks, but he had 9, 10, 11 here. He hooked with 8 against the Nuggets and then 16 against the Grizzlies. So not too bad. You can see the value that we're getting at about minus 112. While we'll look on Action and see exactly what we lock it in at. We could do that real quickly here. Let's go to rebounds at 8.5, and you can see we get at about minus 115. So that is not too bad. So I like that. And if you look over here for the defense for the Atlanta Hawks, they've been doing pretty well against the small forward position in terms of a power forward position, in terms of defending or not allowing too many rebounds. But recently, you can see Giannis grabbed 9 rebounds and Bam grabbed 10 rebounds. And the thing that I'm really liking in this matchup for Deni Avdija is not only a high total, which typically tends to lead to more shot attempts, but against Atlanta the last time he played them was back on November the 17th. He's not going to play them often, obviously, because East-West Coast, you're not really going to play them often. He had 8 rebounds in that game, so he was right there on the hook, right? But look at this. He only had 25 minutes in that game with a very similar total at 231. Well, what's the difference now? Look at his minutes over the last 10 games, averaging 37 minutes per game, 40 minutes against the the Knicks. 32 here, 37 here, 38 here, 38 here, 38 here. And this is an Atlanta Hawks team that's kind of squeezed out Clint Capella, has moved Akanu into the, starting center position. What does that do? That might squeeze out Donovan Klinging. He's not going to play 32 minutes like he did against the Knicks, who he has to go against Karl Anthony Towns. So I think that this might be a game where you really have Avia playing more of a center position. No Jeremy Grant, no Robert Williams, so not a whole lot of other additional size help is going to come. So the question is, who's going to help grab rebounds at such a high point total? And he's consistently grabbing rebounds. You can take this up to 10 plus, in all honesty, in my personal opinion. But I like the 8.5 rebounds here. But again, you could see he's been pretty green with the points as well, so you can lock that in. But we're going to go with this, Deni Avdija over 8.5 rebounds as our third and final pick of the day. All right, well, I don't know, I can't save it, but I'll lock it in a little bit. Well, let's try it again. Alrighty, that is what we're going with today on the free three, my friends. 3 quick best bets for you guys on today's video. We're going to go Deni Avdija over 8.5 rebounds against the Atlanta Hawks. We're going to lock in our Moneyline parlay of the day with the Padres on the Moneyline and the Milwaukee Bucks. And then we're going to wrap it up with UC Irvine on the Moneyline in the NIT against North Texas. I did do a little homer sprinkle on Chattanooga, as I do think they will beat Loyola Chicago. Ken Palm has them beating Loyola Chicago as well. But I am a fan of Chattanooga, so I don't want to give that as like a best bet of the day. But I do think they're going to grab that win. I will have a few additional plays throughout the day. I think there is a few other opportunities in Major League Baseball. I will have my Nobu Nerfy as well, so make sure you guys tap into that on TikTok. And if you aren't subscribed, or if you are a fan of the channel, please give it a like. Please share with somebody. Let's get these views up over here, guys. We've been crushing it over here. We've been making money, so I do appreciate you guys who have been rocking with me and, that have been real low key. I'm going to share something with you guys tomorrow, to let you guys understand, like, sometimes, because I feel like right now in the gambling Twitter space, there's a lot of like beef and there's a lot of extra shit going on, like people boxing and people, like, a lot of it's clickbait, you know what I'm saying? And I think we're getting away from the premise of like we're supposed to be trying to beat the sports book. We're trying to be better gamblers. We're trying to like put a strategy in place. We're trying to figure out how to gain an advantage. At least that's my goal here. So, I do appreciate the people who actually do tap in and actually are trying to win at this thing, rather than just trying to like smack plus 20,000 parlays, because there's a way that you can be consistent, disciplined, and build up. And I'm going to show you guys something tomorrow that's going to be like, hey, proof that you can do this. And I'm not somebody on here who has thousands of followers who's grinding tens of, like, I don't have sponsors and stuff like that. So to let you know, like, hey, there's a way that you can make money doing this thing, living off of this thing on your own dollars, and just be fine. And you know what I'm saying, all the other stuff can come too. So that's my kind of goal here, guys. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. We're gonna have a great day. If you guys have any plays, send them my way. I'd love to tell you guys. So Nerfies are on the way. Additional plays in baseball. A hitter parlay, since you guys tapped in live. Fernando Tatis, Kyle Tucker. That is going to be tailing my guy over there at what's his page called? He's got a YouTube page. I think it's called. It's forgetting my name. I can't. It'll come back to me. But he put out that parlay, and I really like that. Fernando Tatis for 1 hit, Kyle Tucker for 1 hit. Kyle Tucker sprinkle on the money line on a home run. That's 4 days in a row. He for an anytime home run for maybe Kyle Tucker. Fernando Tatis is hitting plus 400 right now. That can get you to plus 100. So that's a little hitter parlay for you guys for tapping in live. So I appreciate you guys, man. Let's have a day and let's run up the bag. Later, gang.